Sonic the Hedgehog has had a very rocky history. In the 1990s, Sonic rivaled Mario, but nowadays, not so much. For example, Sonic 06, a game that came out nearly a decade and a half ago, and yet is still used to judge the franchise. Remember when Sonic kissed a human? What was Sega thinking in 2006, even though it's 2020 currently? For the longest time, we have been asking Sega for a true return to the 2D classic games. And finally we got that with the release of Sonic Advance, Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Advance 3? Sonic Pocket Adventure, right? Sonic Rush, right? Sonic Rush Adventure, that's the one. The DS version of Sonic Colors, that was 2D. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1. Are you serious? Episode 2? Sonic Generations. Sonic Generations for 3DS. Sonic N for the N-Gage. Babysitting Cream. Sonic Mania. Oh, that was the one. Okay. Sonic Mania is... You're kidding me. Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Let me... come on. Give me this. Give me the script. Give me the script. Why didn't anybody tell me earlier? What's wrong with you? Sonic Forces. After years of terrible games, Sega finally bounced back with a phenomenal return to form. And quite a few people agree with me on this one. Sonic Forces was given some phenomenal praise from famous reviewers like Cygnus Destroyer.
Sonic Forces is better than Sonic Mania. That is my genuine opinion.
Pussy Destroyer.
Rayo Saw.
People are talking about reused levels, and that is not an issue at all in Sonic Forces. Yes, they reuse Chemical Plant, but it's a completely different aesthetic. It is in no way similar to the original Chemical Plant. It had a darker tone and aesthetic than Sonic 2's Chemical Plant. So it's a completely different stage. It's not even, like, it doesn't even look like the one in Generations. It's completely different.
And Mick G TV, aka the director of Terminator Salvation.
McGee TV. When the MLG kick in.
Sonic Team included Classic Sonic to try and reel in Classic Sonic.
All of these people, famous game critics who have given Sonic Forces glowing scores. And I am going to throw my hat into the ring. This is why Sonic Forces is a good game. For one thing, the game is much more linear. The game steers corners for you. There are cinematic QuickTime events. Enemies are set up like bowling pins. Most of the game is running in a straight line. People look at this as being too linear or a step back from Generations, but they're all stupid poopy heads who don't understand true cinematic gaming. Games like Uncharted and The Last of Us are extremely linear, but yet while those games are praised, Sonic Forces is lambasted, and yet Call of Duty is consistently given 8s and 9s every year. Of course, I've never actually played an Uncharted game or a Last of Us game or a Call of Duty game. I'm only 12 and I'm not actually allowed to play those games. Moving on, we have the modern Sonic segments. This is, in my opinion, peak modern Sonic. This is the best version of 3D modern Sonic we have gotten thus far. For one thing, his movement has been extremely streamlined. In Generations, it was overwhelming with how many pointless moves you had. You had short hopping, drifting, light dashing, and wall jumping. Forces takes away all of these from the modern Sonic gameplay. Now it is literally boost to win, and it is brilliant. When you reach a tight corner, it is so much more cinematic when the game turns for you. And Sega even references their past when they put a bunch of speed boosters on a tight turn, referencing Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. This is easily one of the most polished modern Sonic experiences in the current 3D landscape. Next up is Classic Sonic, and oh man, did they improve Classic Sonic. For one thing, they removed his spin dash button, streamlining him from generations even further. Furthermore, when you bounce off of an enemy in the air, instead of carrying your momentum forward, the game stops you dead in your trails, adding much more challenge to the game. It's almost like Dark Souls. They also gave him the drop dash, which I think is great. They're adding more moves to his arsenal. More moves is better because adding more moves means more ways to go throughout the level. It's genius. But Dumbsville, didn't you just say— Hey, who's Dumbsville? I don't know who that is. If I were to pick a single moment in classic Sonic stages that really stood out to me, it would be the auto-scroller. It subverts your expectations in a normally fast-paced game, which really surprised me, and I really loved that for subverting my expectations and breaking new ground. And then there is the custom character. Truly genius of Sega to include this custom character. He controls like a Castlevania character on Soap, which, who doesn't love Castlevania? You can also fully customize your weapon, which is really cool. My favorite was the drill Wisp-On, but I also enjoyed the shotgun and the pistol. And I can't forget the fiery power of the Molotov cocktail. I also love this totally not dumb multiplayer component where when you want to replay a level, you actually have to do it a certain way because of the online functionality. It's really not dumb at all and really smart. Next up is the truly epic storyline, and I ain't talking epic Mickey epic where it's all fake. I'm talking real no bullshit type epic. First of all, the writing is just so brilliant.
Without Sonic, the people are losing hope and giving into despair.
Now, the line you just heard used the fancy wording, giving into despair. Vector could have just said, getting more desperate, or losing faith in our resistance, but no. Vector said, giving into despair, which means this game is a lot more intelligent than a lot of previous Sonic games. Furthermore, rather than show us the aspects of the war that would actually be traumatizing, the game rather tells us how bad war is.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
This allows us, the audience, to imagine how the war would actually be, retroactively making it a lot more scarier. I mean, I could totally imagine Eggman committing genocide and war crimes on these poor little animals. In fact, I wrote a whole fanfiction about it. Check it out on my Wattpad and fanfiction.net pages. My story includes an alternate version of Sonic Forces where Eggman pulls together a bunch of war crimes and starts massacring a bunch of animals. There's even a full white phosphorus scene, and I think that's really intense and very scary, and I think you guys should read this fanfiction. There's even Sonimi in it, which if you guys don't like that, I think your families should die and starve to death, but that's just my opinion. If you don't like it, don't read. I'm just saying that. Please, just give me positive feedback. Thank you very much. Speaking of Amy, her characterization is great in this game. Allow me to show you one specific example.
Okay. Nipples first.
Wait a minute, what the hell is this? Homefront the Revolution? Wait, what? Wait, huh? What's that? What? No, that's not, no, it can't have the same story.
Well, except for this brave kid who survived the battle and made it here in one piece. Meet our newest recruit.
You'd only just joined Harvey's crew, right? I'm sorry about what happened, but you survived. We could use a guy like you.
If we want the people to rally, we have to show them that strength doesn't just come from numbers.
We need more people like you. People willing to join the uprising.
Sonic! Shit, they got Walker.
What do we do? Shit, they got Walker. Oh my God, Walker!
This changes nothing.
Alone.
You hear me?
Can't believe it.
Others will rise up.
Walker, oh my
You can't
God.
stop. Ah!
You're telling me that this random Far Cry clone about North Koreans has the same story as Sonic Forces? You gotta be kidding me. You can't be serious. So Sonic Forces saved the Sonic franchise by having a darker tone, great gameplay, Eggman taking over the world, and Sonic kissing a human. I give this game a Homefront the Revolution out of 10. Now if you excuse me, I have some unfinished business to take care of.